I'd like to do just a quick video, real quick overview and kind of quick setup guide video. I'm just gonna hit the controls one time so you can see what it does. Okay, so to start a setup, I would take an empty one of these tubes with the vent open down. I'm going to place it in the holder. If it's the larger of the two, I'm going to remove these clips. These would go in place if you were running the smaller tube. This is the larger tube, so we're going to have those out of there. Again, with this vent open on the bottom, I would place it in. Loosen the two side handles so this assembly can slide up and down like this, okay? For right now, I'm going to loosen these two screws that are holding the cylinder in place so it can slide up and down like that, okay? Any of these adjustments should be made with the air off of the machine so we're not risking pinching or anything like that. It also allows us to lift the cylinder on the bottom. And so that's what we're going to do with these handles loose and the tube in place. I want to lift this plate on the bottom cylinder to the top of its travel, and that will close the valve and push this whole assembly up into the spot that we want to tighten these handles, okay? And once those handles are tight, we have our height set for this. So the tip closer is operating properly. And then we have, I'm going to push this down by hand and very gently tighten these screws. I'm just going to make sure that that rod is nice and centered here. Go ahead and tighten those down. Don't need to be super tight, just snug. Okay. And then the next thing we need to do, now we have our heights set properly for our assembly. Now I would take a tube that has been filled with material to the desired level and the vent open, as you know. Let's say again that this is a filled tube because we're going to set the height, we're going to set the depth for the plunge here. So if this was a full tube, say it was full up to here or so, when I have that, and you would place your piston, there's already a piston in this tube, so I don't want to put another one in. But you would place your piston here in the compression ring, and then by hand, you'd push this rod down to insert the piston. And you can push that down until your fluid level comes right down to where you want it. And that would be your piston coming into about here, let's say. And then up here on the top, this is a cam lock shaft collar. You can unlock and slide up and down. So when you have that piston right to the depth that you want it, you want to bring this collar down so that it engages our limit switch. And as soon as that switch is pressed in all the way, that's where I'm going to lock that collar. I'm doing this with the guard off and the air disconnected. Okay, this is the best way to make this adjustment. If you have the older style, this is a plastic box. I would give us a call and have us give you the new updated version that allows you to adjust this much easier. And in the meantime, I would run it carefully with the guard, the plastic guard off, so you can make these adjustments. So once this is at the right height and we've got our limit switch being engaged at the proper depth of plunge, that's what tells the machine to have the plunge come back up. And then after it comes up, the tip closer will close that valve. And that's the basic operation of the machine. Once that's set up, that's all we need to do. And you would do the exact same thing for the smaller tube, except for you would use the smaller compression ring for the smaller tube, and and you would add these horseshoe shaped adapters to go into these slots here that will hold the smaller tube correctly. So that's that, and I'm gonna do a paper manual as well.